Good morning. I'm Teresa Poole, and I have the honor of being your worship associate today on a beautiful Sunday before Thanksgiving. We want you to take a moment to put both your mind, your spirit, and your cell phones in worship mode. We welcome everybody here and online to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke, with a special welcome to those who are joining us for the first time. And we hope that you will stay after the service for coffee and also some other goodies today. And of course, we will be sharing our bread from the bread communion. Let's take a second to stand up, to wave into the camera, to share our joys and, connect with everyone watching at home. For those who are online, if you wish to share joys and concerns during the Lifelines part of the service, please put those in the chat within the next 15 minutes. We acknowledge that our church resides on traditional lands of the Tutelo and Monacan nations and was later farmed and developed through slave labor. We recognize and respect the ongoing connection of this land by generations of Black, Indigenous, and other people of color. May our gratitude and fellowship here echo and honor that rich history. And if you will join me in reciting the words of welcome, whoever you are, whomever you love, however you express your identity, whatever your situation in life, whatever your experience of the holy, as you come seeking love, your presence here is a gift. Whether you are filled with sadness or overflowing with joy, needing to be alone with yourself or eager to engage with others, all who welcome all are welcome here. In our covenant, we commit to supporting each other with respect and direct communication as we work in community to explore spiritual growth and to be a force for good in the world.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Carrie Morikiewicz, the music director, and this is the UUCR band in front of you. And this morning, we're going to do a song called Fountain Fire, which is a mashup of two songs you'll know, Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing and Fire of Commitment. Oh, and also the band is here behind me. We're spread all over the place. Okay, ready? Feel free to sing along if you know the words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Never ceasing, call the songs of loudest praise, while the hope of life's perfection fills our hearts with joy and love. hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our souls and mind ablaze, when our hunger and our passion need to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, though our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From thy fount of inspiration, turn our lives to higher ways. Lift our gloom and desperation, show the promise of this day. Help us bind ourselves in union, help us act our law. With thine aid, O fount of justice, earth be fair as heaven above. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion need to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
Heck yeah, praise band, yes. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. I'm the Reverend Jen Raffensperger. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am honored to serve as the minister of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke. So this morning, I'm going to share a few words that landed like a gift in my inbox on Friday while I was preparing this script. And these are from Nadia Bowles-Weber, an Episcopal priest and public theologian that I really admire. One day, I will have as many tattoos as she does. Maybe. So her prayer for all of us right now is this. Dear God, you remember that whole who by worrying can add a single hour to their life thing? I could use a reminder of that right now. I'm just rehearsing dread and practicing fear right now. So when I start doom casting about what might happen in days to come, remind me that this day has worries of its own. Guide my hand to turn off the radio, my feet to walk away from my laptop, and my eyes to turn away from my phone, because none of that stuff is healthy for me right now. With your grace, may we all recoil from hot takes as from a hot flame. And then give me the strength to do the next right thing in this life I have been given, among these people you love, in this place you created. I guess what I'm saying is, please help me not miss the good stuff because I'm worrying about the bad stuff. And if it's not too much of a bother, could you, in your infinite mercy, also help everyone be on their best behavior this year at all our Thanksgiving tables? That'd be great, because more drama we do not need. Amen. So now I'll invite Teresa to light our chalice, as we do, as Unitarian Universalist churches, communities, congregations are doing around the country and the world this morning. We light the flame that symbolizes our faith, our living tradition, the flame of faith that we carry in our hearts, and the symbol that symbolizes us to the rest of the world.
May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse.
No? Yes, yes. Oh, yes, okay. Goodness, yes. So in our congregation, now this is fun because this is a script from another congregation and you all haven't even gotten to all of these yet, but guess what? We are going to do a communion ritual for each season of the year. And that ritual is a time to honor our shared experience, to name and consider that which we hold most sacred. In the winter, we will celebrate a fire communion. In the spring, we will celebrate a flower communion of the element earth. In the summer, we celebrate a water communion. And now, in the autumn, as the days draw down to the longest night of the year, we celebrate a bread communion, the element of air.
Mindful of the blessings of bread and of the work that brings it to our tables, we will now bless this bread. In a world where the wheat and the weeds grow in the same field, where suffering and greed often seem to us to be as plentiful as joy and justice, the call to bless comes to us, swelling in our hearts, the call to single out the graciousness of this life with words of thanksgiving and beauty. By blessing this bread, we call for an end to the injustices which deprive any of our siblings and cousins anywhere of their unconditional right to bread, to shelter, to the comfort of love, and of work and of support and equity.
As this bread was once scattered across the field and thence through the effort of work, gathered and brought forth to this table as nourishment, so may the people of our common earth, scattered across the fields, be gathered through the marvelous effort of mercy into a world where neither nourishment nor justice nor love is rare. Let us give thanks
For sun, moon, and stars, for the turning of the wheel of the year, for the times of work and of rest, we give thanks.
for all those who dream of a more just world, for all those who create, and all whose lives remind us that the creation of justice brings joy, we give thanks.
For all of our soaring joys and the sorrows that weigh heavy on our hearts, for the tears which cleanse and the laughter which points the way to freedom and an open heart, we give thanks.
Whatsoever does not move, whatsoever does not change, whatsoever does not transform, is not alive. Therefore, come now, Spirit of life, move in us, and in this sign, that we too may break the boundaries of our crustiness, shyness, and fear, and open our hearts to each other, that we may grow yet more merciful and compassionate, that no living or inanimate being shall be outside the growing circle of our concern and of our love. We are as one body. The rhythm that moves our hearts moves the hearts of those closest to us and moves the farthest star in its path. Take, therefore, and eat, as a pledge to the growth of mercy in the world. So at this time, I'm going to invite you forward to select a little cup with a piece of bread in it. Please return to your seat to eat the bread so that we don't have a traffic jam up here. And it's very clearly labeled, and I will be up here. Jesse is going to take, so we have bread full of gluten and allergens. And then we have another tray of bread free of gluten. It is vegan. It's free of the top 9 most common allergens. So this bread should be safe for everybody to eat. So while we listen to beautiful music and the gifts thereof, I invite you to come forward. Jesse, thank you for taking it to our musicians. I invite you to come forward to take your bread, take it back to your seat, and to eat it thinking of the work that brought it to our table. Come on up.
Everyone born, clean water
We have a beautiful reading this morning. It's by Naomi Shahab Nye. It's gate A4, and there are some Arabic words in here to pronounce. So this southern chick is probably going to butcher them, but I will try. Wandering around the Albuquerque airport terminal after learning my flight had been delayed 4 hours, I heard an announcement. If anyone in the vicinity of gate A4 understands any Arabic, please come to the gate immediately. Well, one pauses these days. Gate A4 was my own gate. I went there. An older woman in full Palestinian embroidered dress, just like my grandma wore, was crumpled to the floor, wailing. "Help," said the flight agent. "Talk to her. What is her problem?" We told her the flight was going to be late, and she did this. I stooped to put my arm around the woman and spoke haltingly. Shuda'a, Shubid ak, Habiti, Stani Swa, Min Fadik, Shubit Siwi. The minute she heard any word she knew, however poorly used, she stopped crying. She thought the flight had been canceled entirely. She needed to be in El Paso for major medical treatment the next day. I said, "No, we're fine. You'll get there just later." "Who is picking you up? Let's call him." We called her son. I spoke with him in English. I told him I would stay with his mother till we got on the plane and ride next to her. She talked to him. Then we called her other sons just for the fun of it. Then we called my dad, and he and she spoke for a while in Arabic and found out, of course, they had 10 shared friends. Then I thought, just for the heck of it, why not call some Palestinian poets that I know and let them chat with her? This all took up to 2 hours. She was laughing a lot by then, telling of her life, patting my knee, answering questions. She had pulled a sack of homemade mamul cookies, little powdered sugar crumbly mounds stuffed with dates and nuts, from her bag, and was offering them to all the women at the gate. To my amazement, not a single woman declined one. It was like a sacrament. The traveler from Argentina, the mom from California, the lovely woman from Laredo. We were all covered with the same powdered sugar and smiling. There is no better cookie, which sounds about right to me. And then the airline broke out free apple juice from huge coolers, and 2 little girls from our flight ran around serving it, and they were covered with powdered sugar too. And I noticed my new best friend, but now we were holding hands, had a potted plant poking out of her bag, some medicinal thing with green furry leaves. Such an old country tradition. Always carry a plant, always stay rooted to somewhere. And I looked around that gate of late and weary ones, and I thought, this is a world I want to live in, the shared world. Not a single person in that gate, once the crying of confusion stopped, seemed apprehensive about any other person. They took the cookies. They wanted to hug all those other women too. This can still happen anywhere. Not everything is lost.
Thank you, Teresa. And it's just so everyone knows, those Arabic words are spelled out just in phonetics, because Naomi Shihab Nye understands that people reading it probably very likely speak less Arabic even than she does. So thank you, thank you. So when I was small, Thanksgiving was my least favorite holiday. I think in large part because my palate was not yet sophisticated enough to truly appreciate the balance of tastes, the art of creating the perfect arrangement of stuffing, cranberry, and sauerkraut to delight every sense. But sometimes I think gratitude is harder to access for the young, or at least those very young who, like me, are privileged enough at that point in their lives to have been shielded from most of the world's injustices, at least up to that point. As I grew older, I grew to love this quiet holiday, which asks very little of us, really, but togetherness and gratitude. While the world's marketers would like for us to leap immediately from the Halloween season, which begins in August, to the Christmas season, which apparently begins November 1st, I enjoy the invitation to set that aside and to pause. Now, the traditional story of Thanksgiving that most of us were taught in school is, of course, false, or at best, incomplete. The truth of the genocidal erasure of native peoples on this land by those empowered to colonize them by the harmful doctrine of discovery and the unjust call to manifest destiny, that has, I hope, grown more clear to all of us over time. Still, I would not want us to throw out the call to gratitude along with the harmful trappings and histories of this holiday. We are called into the complicated work of acknowledging the falsehoods in the Thanksgiving fables, drawing our hearts and minds to injustice while we are also drawn to gratitude, a profound thankfulness for all who have ever made home and plenty on this land we now call home. And perhaps you'll indulge me in another short remembrance of the Thanksgivings of my youth and young adulthood as I moved into a greater appreciation of this holiday. My family is tiny. As a young person, the most people that ever sat at our Thanksgiving table was maybe a dozen, and most years it was many fewer than that. It was almost always just family. We rarely extended an invitation to friends who were busy with their own Thanksgivings. So the first year that I attended Thanksgiving with someone that I was dating was a real shock to me because his family was comparatively huge. As we made the drive to West Virginia, his local family filled me in on the names and stories of the 30-plus people I was about to meet. And I was completely intimidated, not because I was scared of meeting his family, but because Thanksgiving was going to be so different. Where did 30 people sit? Answer, wherever the heck they found room. Where did you get a turkey big enough to feed 30 people? Answer, you didn't. You had 2 turkeys and a ham and also a bunch of venison because the hunting was good that year. How did you cook 2 turkeys and a ham and venison? Answer, with help and more than one kitchen. All in all, it was an amazing meal, though I wish I had thought to bring along some sauerkraut. Sometimes you don't appreciate what you have until you don't have it. And then the airline broke out free apple juice from huge coolers, and 2 little girls from our flight ran around serving it, and they were covered with powdered sugar too. And I noticed my new best friend, by now we were holding hands, had a potted plant poking out of her bag, some medicinal thing with green furry leaves. Such an old country tradition. Always carry a plant. Always stay rooted to somewhere. And I looked around that gate of late and weary ones, and I thought, this is the world I want to live in. The shared world. Not a single person in that gate, once the crying of confusion stopped, seemed apprehensive about any other person. They took the cookies. I wanted to hug all those other women too. This can still happen anywhere. Not everything is lost. We often don't miss what we have until it is gone. This poem was written by Naomi Shihab Nye, an American poet whose father was a Palestinian refugee and whose mother was an American of both Swiss and German descent. Her adolescence was spent in both Jerusalem and in San Antonio, Texas. And today's reading, Gate A4, was written in the aftermath of September 11th, 2001, echoed in the poet-narrator's hesitancy to admit that she spoke Arabic, however badly. I almost didn't pick this poem, which speaks to the longing for a shared world in one that felt so divided. To me, the divisions present in our society right now feel even more pronounced than they did 2 decades ago, in the first years following the horrible attacks and the horrible and violent response to them. But the aspiration within this poem still rings true. There is still a shared world. There is still a chance for us to learn and grow in our understanding that difference and diversity of experience can truly enrich our lives. And as I mentioned last week, in divided times, when there are some who claim to openly celebrate the pain of others, making time for joy in our lives and hope in our hearts is a radical act. This poem describes a radical world and a very real one. Human kindness still exists. Human understanding still exists. Human connection still exists. And what exists can expand. As Nadia Bolz-Weber reminds us, or prays to remind herself and us, and then give me the strength to do the next right thing in this life that I have been given, among these people that you love, in this place you created. I guess what I'm saying is, please help me not miss the good stuff because I'm worrying about the bad stuff. It's like the Thanksgiving fables and the real story of European colonization of these lands. It's like a whole new family's Thanksgiving full of delicious new treats and experiences and missing the taste of home. It's like choosing joy while also feeling real grief. It's like the weight of both excitement for and dread of the future. It's complicated. This is part of why our bread communion is so powerful. It is a tangible reminder of all that we have and all that we aspire to. It is an ancient symbol imagined in a newer way. As this bread was once scattered across the field and thence through the effort of work gathered and brought forth to this table as nourishment, so may the people of our common earth, scattered across the fields, be gathered through the marvelous effort of mercy into a world where neither nourishment, nor justice, nor love is rare. A world where neither nourishment, nor justice, nor love is rare. A world where the sins of the past inform us but do not freeze us into inaction. A world where the challenges of the future do not intimidate us, but inspire us, because it's only on the other side of them that we get to the world we dream about, not just for ourselves or our children, but our children's children for generations hence. A world where we receive the bad stuff with determination and the good stuff with deep gratitude. A world where we do not seek perfection, but communion. The coming together over table and by hearth, over screen and by voice and by touch, in order to claim the common kinship of our shared humanity and to exclaim with joy over the richness of our difference. This can still happen anywhere. Not everything is lost. So may it be. To that time in our service each week where we invite you into generosity, something we're celebrating today. Those funds that you choose to donate today go to serve and enhance the mission of this beautiful church and all the good work that it does in the world. So the ushers will now gratefully collect your offering.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Hello, I'm Jane Harrison from the Caring Committee, and one of our many jobs is to share the joys and the concerns of this congregation. If you want your joy or concern shared, you can use you can contact the church office, you can contact a member of the Caring Committee, or you can write in the Lifelines book, which is on the altar Sunday morning. However, we have a number of joys and concerns this morning, so please bear with me. First of all, Peggy Cooper passed away Thursday with her daughter by her side. They had just finished watching, excuse me, Peggy's favorite movie, The Wizard of Oz. The lives of both Peggy and Bob will be celebrated in Colorado this summer. You can find a beautiful tribute to Peggy by her daughter on Peggy's Facebook page. And Kathy, I hope I pronounced this right, Katniss? Okay, I apologize. Sister-in-law died suddenly in her home in Massachusetts yesterday. Please hold Kathy's brother, Barry, their children, their one granddaughter in your hearts. And also, my husband's Mike Harrison has been moved to a more intensive part of the Veterans Care Center this week. Now for some joys. Happy birthday to Lori Livingston. Today is her birthday. Yay! Do the queenly wave. Okay. And finally, a thank you from Bonnie Nelson. I want to thank everyone who has fed, driven, assisted, advised, and cheered me through this knee replacement journey. Having you in my life has been a blessing. I don't know how I could have managed without my UUCR community, especially when things stopped going well. Turns out I'm one of those rare people in whom the full dose of Tylenol causes severe insomnia. I mean, so severe it wasn't safe to drive or turn the oven on. Thank you especially to Teresa Poole, Mormon Robinson, and Mary Bishop, and Kay Brand, who took me to PT when I couldn't safely stay alert behind the wheel. If you have a joy or concern in your heart and you want to share it today, please come forward. We're going to light candles using both sides of the altar. Thank you.
has come, and the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me.
When the night we look upon should stumble and fall, and the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me.
So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by. Stand by me. Stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by. Stand by me. Stand by me.
Win and Mary Sue, is it okay if I shout you out? Yes. I know they didn't. Win and Mary Sue are also having an anniversary today. So we want to put that out. Happy anniversary. Birthdays, anniversaries, all these beautiful things. I will now also light one candle, as I do each week, for those with us on YouTube who are not here to light a candle for their own joy or concern in person. We will do this for you, remembering you are a vital part of this community. Once the candle stays lit. Yes. Okay. And so now, if you will join me just in a brief moment of prayer and reflection, if you want to settle into your seats, close your eyes if that is comfortable, or soften your gaze. Spirit of life, God of many names, we know this week is going to be weird. It's going to be a strange one for a lot of us. Family dynamics are challenging for many. And we also know this is a time in the world where we're just holding a lot of complicated feelings in our hearts. So I want to name that, just to lift that up, and also in hopes to let it go. We are so glad and grateful to gather here today to celebrate abundance, to celebrate gratitude, to celebrate all that we have and all the work of the many hands that brought it together. For all the work that goes into making one of these worship services, for all the work that goes into each and every one of your lives, the hidden work that you do that other people never suspect is happening, but that they are so, so grateful for. We do not know how much we're going to miss something until it's not there. So taking a moment this week to do a little bit of a gratitude practice for one thing in your life that if it was not there would materially affect the way that you are able to be. So give thanks for your neighbors, your friends, your family, even the complicated ones, and all the loving work we do for one another, the emotional labor we do to be present when a friend is hurting. When we hear of losses, every note card, every moment we know has helped in a troubled time. Plant that seed of gratitude in your hearts so that it will grow and to a shelter and a nourishment and all of the hopes of the future. So may it be.
Okay, as we draw close to the end of our time together in the worship this week, we turn our attention from within our own community and their joys and concerns, and we prepare to engage with the world in the week ahead. We began with a few announcements, and we have several today. It is the season for giving, and there are many ways that we do this at UUCR. We have committed to supporting our community this holiday season. There are some flyers that you can find on the table in the lobby. They will have the details on our collections. We're doing coats for the West End Center, the youth there, and the care packages for the unhoused teenagers at Patrick Henry High School. Those are on the stage. If you've got donations today, those are on the stage and the fellowship hall. And also, we partner with Williams Memorial Baptist Church. They take donations for the unhoused population, I believe, at the rescue mission. They're our partner, as most of us know. They're our partner in the Pledge to End Racism. And also, we're participating in Soup for Seniors. That's provided by our local area office on aging, known as the League of Older Americans. And a very important reminder, the UUCR office will be closed both on Thursday the 27th and on Friday the 28th in observance of a Thanksgiving holiday. There will also be a blood drive next Saturday, November 30th, and more details are on both the website for you to look at that, to find out and be able to sign up. And on Sunday, December 1st, we will officially kick off our holiday season. Please join us and join in the fun by staying after the worship service to help with the hanging of the greens. We'll decorate our sanctuary tree and get our space feeling even more festive. After we decorate, we're going to have a packing party for the care packages that we're developing for the Patrick Henry High School students. And please join us in that celebration as well. Now, these announcements can be found in the weekly email that we receive on Thursdays. And if anyone is not receiving that weekly newsletter email, please let the admin at uuroanoke.org know so you can get that. It has a lot more detail.
Thank you, Teresa. And if you want to go ahead and extinguish the chalice while you're up here. Sorry, I tried to catch you. And again, as we did at the start of our service, we light the challenge, light the challenge. That's brilliant. Light the chalice, the symbol of our living tradition. And we echo this activity, again, in Unitarian Universalist churches and congregations the world around, knowing that the fire may be extinguished here in our sanctuary, but that it lives on within our hearts.
This is the I'll just say it loud. This is the chorus, but it's got to be on for a little anyway. Okay. This is the chorus for the song we're about to sing, which is called Crowded Table. And you're welcome to join in the chorus or just listen. And I'd like to thank the band for playing. I'm still talking, so you have time. Don't worry. That's why I'm talking and saying nothing. I'd like to thank the band for rehearsing and bringing their music to us today. And the choir, always the choir, yes.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Carrie, for putting together and putting out the call for the band. Thank you for everybody who answered the call of the band. Thank you for choir. Thank you, tech team. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, every one of you who brought bread. I was remiss in adding to the announcements that we have a lot more bread even than is represented here. And we have butters and spreads and jams and jellies. And we hope that you will all join us in the fellowship hall afterwards to eat all of this because, my goodness, we have a lot of bread. So if you're not hungry for bread, Do you know someone who might like some bread? I know that food waste is terrible, and also there is nothing quite like the abundance that we see at this time of year. And so I invite you, as we go into the week ahead, to cultivate that sense of abundance within your hearts, to walk away, as Nadia Bolz-Weber reminds us, from the things that are not serving you, to walk away from the hot takes like they're hot flames, and to just reside in gratitude in the peaceful moments that you can get in the week ahead. In gratitude, let us go forth into the week ahead, and I will see you in the fellowship hall for bread.